In today's video, I'm going to be changing out the alternator on my 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer. This is a 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer ES, which stands for Executive Series. I feel so business-like. Okay, aside from that, if you haven't already, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as check out my channel content for more. And hey, have fun when it comes to cars. On my 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer, I decided to change out the alternator altogether because, though some alternators may be serviceable, I didn't want to just tear apart the alternator that's been on that car maybe say for 10 plus years, because it did go out around 2008, 2007, give or take some years, so it was definitely time. Now, the bearings were making a noise during driving conditions, which drove me absolutely bonkers. You'd be hearing this little tiny pinging, or you'd hear this grinding noise while you're accelerating, while you're coasting, general all around the town type of purpose. So, it was about time that alternator was replaced. Though it was fully functional, it just needed to be replaced. Tearing apart the alternator is one thing, but disassembly to get to the alternator is actually really simple on this car. The alternator is fed by its own belt, thus it's a very simple thing. Just make sure that adjustment screw can come off. If it feels like it's going to snap, don't touch it. Those things are prone to rusting and or breaking. Kind of like when you replace the tensioner bolt on that, because it's a stud that goes to a nut, well, those things are prone to snapping as well, and kind of getting bent. Otherwise, it's a really simple process. Well, without further ado, let's get right into it.
I'm going to turn the multimeter on, assuming that we have good voltage. After that starter incident the other day, I want to make sure we have 12.75 volts. Obviously, I know that my alternator is good, but because I replaced the starter, I like to replace alternators as well, just because it's drawing power. We got 12.75, so I'm going to start it, and let's take a look at what our values are. Current mileage. Obviously, the alternator is showing to work. I can't apply load to it, unfortunately, right now because I don't have the tools for it, but I'm going to switch out this alternator anyways with a new one. Start by disconnecting the battery terminal, the negative battery terminal. There, disconnected. Already lifted up the vehicle in this case using a 21 millimeter socket to remove the lug nuts right here. Snap on IM51. Removing the wheel and tire. I'm going to set it in front of my vehicle, just like that. Let me zoom in. Let's see if we can get you an image. Right back there, that 14 millimeter bolt right there is the underside of this alternator. Got this panel here with two 12 millimeter bolts holding it in place. Using a 12 mil, just going to zip these off. Now this panel is free and we have access down here. Move this out of the way. My plate. 14 millimeter. Let's sneak in under here. And loosen the belt. I don't know if you can see my hand spinning that. I don't know if it's clear or not. But I'm spinning the tensioner bolt. Let's see if this belt comes off. There we go. Using a 12 millimeter. Got this bolt right here that has to be loosened. That's a 12 mil, and then this one right here that also has to be loosened. Those are 12 mils. This one. And I can loosen that to the bottom. Here there's a 14 millimeter that needs to be removed. That's the pivot for the alternator. So I'm going to use a socket, ratchet, and extension to remove that. It's not a fun spot to be in. Oh. Do I have enough swing? Yay! Loosen it up just enough to pivot at the top, and I can now move this. So now I can remove this bolt here like that. and shift the belt off. So here's the belt. Pull the belt off. Just like that. Pull this forward, loosen and remove this bolt right here, making sure that it doesn't fall. You just saw it fall. Now that this can come free, we want to take note of that lock washer right there. This washer. Oops. Don't want to lose any of those. And this bolt can slide on through and out. And then there's that bolt. Oh, it's square drive. Interesting. Now the alternator is free from the car. This is really hard for me to show you because of its direction and angle. I'm really reaching down in here now because of where it is. But this connector has to be disconnected. Let's see if I can get that to pop off. That connector. There is a bolt that needs to be disconnected as well. And that is this bolt right here on the back of the alternator. I think that's a 12mm bolt, so it's got to be disconnected. And I know this is hard to see still, but after those bolts have been removed, the connectors have been removed, you can carefully lift the alternator up. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's kind of a bearing going bad, and at certain you can hear it while you're driving, and it bugs me. So I've decided to just replace it altogether. That one's different. You saw where the plug went in, right? Yeah, this one's different. Dang. That sucks. We've got 1, 2, 3. 4 in that plug with the 2 prongs, 4 in the plug with the 2 prongs. I mean, they look exactly the same, just different style. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try it. Having made some calls, they verified that this was correct. The pins do line up and the cable goes in, so I'm gonna try it. Hope for the best. That's all I can say. Different size pulley on here as well, which kind of concerns me because, I mean, the one on the car is bigger, but this one is smaller by 236 thousandths. But let's put it in. Same way it came out. There's the positive install. Now I gotta put the nut on. Crackle. Go. Install this long and square drive bolt. Everything's in. I can pull this alternator up and realign the adjustment screw. Doesn't look like there's any cracks. So I can reinspect and reinstall the belt. Starting from the bottom on the crank, I'm just gonna slip it over the crank like this and then pull it up and through. You want it on the most inner portion of this crankshaft. Bring this up, bring it forward, bring it over, just like that. And it's on. We can tighten this bolt here all the way down. We wait till the bottom one for the last, and then we adjust it accordingly here. So now we can adjust it, adding some tension, but first making sure that it's seated. Now I'm snugging the belt down and checking the tension. Check it. Nope. A little further here. Obviously it's going to be a little further considering I have a smaller pulley. There we go. That looks about good. snug, not over tightened. Just like that to keep it from moving. And we just add a little more tension to this set screw. Now we can tighten the one on the bottom. All right, we're looking good. Now we just got to install the actual belt. Looks okay. Starting from the top here, I'm going to slide it down and in. Hook that right here so it holds in place. And then I do want to get it around this tensioner pulley. That bolt right there. So wrapping it around, we're just going to tuck that back in. Sorry about this light here. AC pulley, I'm going to tuck it around that, even though I can't see it. I've done this enough times where I can feel this. Always keep track of where this belt diagram goes. So now we just gotta finish it up. After having checked that the belt is seated all the way around now, we're on the tensioner, we're on the AC pulley, everything is seated. We can tighten up that 14mm bolt right there. Obviously this is too loose. This is about good. See? So now everything's seated. I can crank the car and everything's good now. To show you, it is seated on the bottom. And if we look down there, we can see that it's seated in the crank. Underneath the car, I probably should have started from underneath. I can take the 14mm and tighten this up. This is the adjusting bolt for the bottom, which I already tightened, so just figured I'd show you. Now there is one thing key about this that I want to show you, and that there is a slot. Remember, I pulled the bolt out coming from the back side because the slot was on this side. As the slot for the four-sided square nut or bolt is on this side now, I have to put the bolt and nut on this side because that locks this square nut and bolt from spinning. Returning the negative to the post, I can go ahead and start the car. Started right up. Wow. No, it started right up. All right, the car's been running for a few seconds. Okay. Let's take a look. We're pushing it, so it's working. Let's shut it up and close the hood. I forgot to film it. The car is back on the ground. These were torqued to 86 foot-pounds, and those two bolts are back in place.
How was that, folks? It's not that difficult to repair and replace the alternator to a Mitsubishi Lancer. Though there may be some complications, it's a really overall simple process. Now, because I overhauled the alternator, not overhaul the alternator, overhaul as in replace, overhaul not as in I repaired and serviced the internal components of the alternator. Technical jargon aside, I replaced the alternator just to ensure that it was fixed, and it's a lot cheaper to replace just the whole unit. Now, if you found this helpful, as normal, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my channel content for more, perhaps. And, hey, have fun. I'll include a link to the, or card, or whatever it is right here, to the playlist to my 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer. And don't forget to subscribe.